Yes, yes, yes. It's another one. It's Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio. And today we are doing the fight, the Anthony Joshua versus Andy Ruiz Jr. fight analysis. So we've just previously done, this is a series, we've just previously done the Katie Taylor versus Pursoon. And then before that, and then after that, rather, we've just done the Endam versus Smith fight. And now we're going with the sequel, the final of the trilogy. The final of the trilogy, which is the bout, the notorious bout featuring Anthony Joshua versus Andy Ruiz Jr. And before I get into it, I'm going to send links out to my two co-hosts today. So let me get that done underway. Tommy Temper already in the house. Let me get these links sent out. Okay, let's copy that and go over here and send these two. Copy, paste, and send. That's the first one. And the second one, who did I send that to? That was 31 minutes ago. Okay, so, and send. So let me just make sure. Yeah, sent that one there. No, sent that one there. And send again, just to make sure that's gone through. Okay. Right. I believe I have sent the links to my co-hosts. Let me just make sure of that. Yep. Sent and sent. Okay. I believe I sent those links through. Okay, so let's get into it. We got Tommy Temper. We got Noble in the house straight away. Smash that like button, folks. Smash that like button. And while we're waiting for the area, okay, we have action. The Boxing Block Center is in the house. And before we go into the analysis and the dissection, before we do that, I'm going to play a short video, a little few minutes, and to allow the area. Okay, we got everybody. We got a full house. I'll introduce my co-host in a second, but before we do that, to allow the area to populate, I'm going to play a short video, and we're going to share the screen. We're going to share that screen. There we are. Got it up now. As a matter of fact, I might even change the video. I'm going to play. Matter of fact, I think I'm going to stay with this so there's no copyright issues. I'm going to stay with this one. We don't like copyright issues around here. We don't like copyright issues around here.
I love it, Japanese, man.
So let me cue this up. Let me cue
I
this.
got about maybe 20 to 25 minutes before
Okay, well, that's no problem. That's no problem. Because the clip's going to take a few minutes and then we'll jump straight into it. So,
Yeah, I've got about 24 hours and 7 days, so we're good.
well, that's all good. That's all good. Let me cue this up. Let's make sure we're sharing. I think we are. I'm going to kill the music. And to allow the air to populate, we got a quick 5-minute video. So, yes. It's Raphael Dawkins, Combat Radio. And if you haven't subscribed already, please kindly do so. And today, we're talking about the responses to Anthony Joshua's loss from both Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. So let's get into it. In the wake of Anthony Joshua's loss in Madison Square Gardens, June the 1st, Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder have both sent their response via social media. So let's first take a look at Tyson Fury's response. Let's take a look at Tyson Fury's response first, and then we'll go to take a look at Deontay Wilder's response. Okay, so Tyson Fury had to say, "We have our back and forth, but Anthony Joshua changed his stars through life. Heavyweight boxing, these things happen. Rest up, recover, regroup, and come again." So that was Tyson Fury's response. Let me read that again. "We have our back and forth, but Anthony Joshua changed his stars through life. Heavyweight boxing, these things happen. Rest up, recover, regroup, and come again." Okay. Wilder, on the other hand, had a very different response and used the opportunity to, well, let me read you his tweet. This is from Deontay Wilder, the Bronze Bomber. He had to say these words. "He wasn't a true champion." Let me do it in Deontay's voice. "He wasn't a true champion. His whole career was consisted of lies, contradictions, and gifts. Facts. And now we know who was running from who."
Wow.
Till it's die. Till it's die.
Wow.
So there we see the contrasts. The contrast in approach to another man's loss.
Wow.
We see Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder here, the Bronze Bomber here, almost getting knocked out by Luis Ortiz. We see him taking the opportunity to throw shade, as they say. Throw shade to try to exalt himself over another man's loss. While Tyson Fury, on the other hand, decided to take the high road. The high road, the low road. The high road, the low road. So let's get into my assessment. Let's analyze Deontay Wilder's statement. First of all, Deontay says he wasn't a true champion. Well, he fought for belts and won the belts. Fought Charles Martin for a belt, won it, beat him. Fought Vladimir Klitschko for a belt, beat him. Talking about Anthony Joshua. He fought Joseph Parker, who beat Andy Ruiz for the belt, beat him. Wilder, on the other hand, has fought a series, other than 2 fights, has fought a series of cherry picks.
Mm-hmm.
A series of cherry picks, other than Ortiz and Fury. And
Facts.
even Ortiz was
Facts.
beating Wilder.
Facts.
Where is it? Ortiz was beating Wilder, but due to his old age, some people have him as high as 49. And Wilder was able to secure the victory. In Tyson Fury, he fought a man who was just coming back from drug addiction, obesity, alcoholism. So this man here
Where is he? Where is he? It's very foolish to try and say that Anthony Joshua wasn't a true champion. A true champion is one who rises from adversity, who takes on real fighters, fighters in their prime, like Joseph Parker and Andy Ruiz, and classic champions like Vladimir Klitschko, the man that Wilder here, as we see here, ducked. Wilder, known as the cherry-picking duck. The moral of the story? The moral of the story is be humble in victory and classy in defeat. Anybody who's seen Anthony Joshua's post-fight press conference can only admire the fact that not once does he whinge, whine, or make excuses. Will he come back? Who knows? He's got a lot of work to do. He's got a lot of work to do. But either way, he has always been a classic champion. Something Deontay Wilder could never say. It's Rafael
Bro,
Bock, radio.
I could return soon. Let me quickly do something, okay?
Out.
Okay. Let me stop that. That has stopped.
Bro, Rafael Duncans.
Yes.
I could return soon. I just got a call. You know.
No problem, friend.
If not, I think you go live later, right?
No problem at all.
I'll hop in again. If not, I'll join you guys soon, or I'll hop in again later.
Okay, my friend. Thank you very much.
Okay, bro. Respect.
Okay, respect.
All right, man. God bless.
Okay, so first and foremost, everybody, smash that like button. Smash that like button and let's get the beat started before I reintroduce my special co-host. Okay, the beats are up. Now it's official. Now it is official. Greetings, one and all. Greetings, everyone in the house. Tommy Temper sent a message. He says, anybody doing a live stream? And of course, I obliged. So we've banged out 2. This is the 3rd one with my special co-host, who I shall introduce by his name, the Boxing Jedi. Come in, my friend.
What's going on, fellas? What's going on, UK? What's going on, boxing fans?
Yes. We are live. We have, let me do a roll call. We have, smash that like button, folks. We have Tommy Temper, the whole monitor, making sure everything is in order. No, no bull. Yes. Box has come back. Box is in the house. The Loma King is in the building. Who else have we got? Who is it?
Pablo.
Where's Pablo is in the building. Now I have to give a special shout out to Pablo, because I was chilling in the Sky, on the Sky broadcast, the pre-fight free broadcast, and who did I see promoting Rafael Dawkins Combat Radio? Who did I see? 3 guesses. It was Pablo Diablo. Directing traffic to our way. So big up to Pablo, no doubt about it. Okay, so we're populated, we're situated, we are in the place. We've come back with the big one. The one that made people sick last night.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to let my co-host, the Boxing Jedi kick us off with his initial thoughts.
All right. Well, you see, we have our big-bodied heavyweight champions from back in the day, like Ronnie Lyle, the Black Hercules, Ken Norton. It's all about conditioning, right? So I feel that what happened to Anthony Joshua yesterday was his conditioning was not up to par. You can tell. I'm not even going to get into rumors of him being sick or anything like that. There are no excuses. Okay. Congratulations to Andy Ruiz, but Anthony Joshua's conditioning was not up to par. Okay. And this is exactly what happened. On top of that, I feel Anthony Joshua underestimated Ruiz, and basically, because he tried to go for the finish too early and got caught out there. Now, as far as the statements as to the LGBT, I mean the MS, I mean what the fuck are they called? LDBC, whatever, STDs, whatever the hell you want to call them. I just want to say this: you guys are basking in glory for what? It wasn't like Wilder did it.
It's another man's glory.
Exactly. And you guys have a habit of doing this. You did it with Mayweather. Yeah. You know what the problem here is? You guys are just glad and happy that this fight is no longer going to occur between Joshua and Wilder simply because, hey, it was the inevitable, like Rafael said, man. The fighter who was fighting harder was going to fucking lose eventually. And that was Anthony Joshua. And what we got in Anthony Joshua, whether Anthony Joshua underestimated, overestimated, whatever the hell estimated, the whole estimation here is that the real man, the real fighter here is Anthony Joshua. It has nothing to do with Wilder. Wilder is a voluntary champion, not a mandatory defender. Okay. I mean, there are so many things to debunk. He's a fucking punk. You know what I mean? He talks a lot of shit. And if I'm not mistaken, this is exactly another reason why I don't call him a real American heavyweight champion. Almost every American heavyweight champion was fucking unified. What's wrong with this faggot? What's wrong with this faggot? How come you haven't done it, you roach antenna having motherfucker? What's wrong with you, Wilder? I mean, I'm not mad because if anything, I'm showing competitiveness. I'm showing that, you know what? Congratulations, Ruiz. It was bound to happen. It was the inevitable, just like Mr. Dawkins said. But now, when you talk about the sport itself, when you talk about guys taking chances, when you talk about guys fighting correctly, Anthony Joshua was the epitome in the heavyweight division doing that. Okay? Tyson Fury at a point was too, until he fucked up on himself. Vladimir Klitschko was for 11 fucking years. So how much more are the STDs, I mean, the LDBCs, going to take away from real, pure, natural fighters and try to add on to this bullshit, putrid armor that you guys are trying to build Wilder up on? Wilder ducked fucking Briggs, for Christ's sake. Briggs told Wilder in his face, they gave you those titles. I won my titles. The reason why these guys are scared of Briggs is because Briggs got 9 bodies under his title to this day. So in the words of the Macho Man Randy Savage, ooh yeah, a punk is a punk is a punk. And I tell you one more thing, Deontay Wilder, you're as chicken as your legs. Dig it. That's all I got to say about that.
Yeah, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100%. Where do I begin? Where do I begin? Wow. There's so many places to begin. Where do I begin?
I know, right? It's like, okay, you got a whole backyard full of treasure.
You got a whole backyard.
Yeah, you don't know which side to dig in because either side you're digging, you're gonna run into treasure.
Yeah, you're gonna hit something. It's like a dog who's had too many bones. He can't remember. You know what I'm saying? It's like madness, man. It's like madness.
Hey, brother, take your time. Take your time, brother.
Oh yeah, exactly. Just pick one. Let me start with let me start with the underestimation of Ruiz, of Andy Ruiz. Let me start there. Let me start with people underestimating Andy Ruiz Jr.
Yes.
Ped is in the building. Loma King is in the building. Pablo Diablo, Bock, Tommy Temper, the whole monitor. Yeah, so did I say Loma King? Absolutely.
And
so,
Ped.
So he's a resident Ped expert. Now, Andy Ruiz, the underestimate. I know you didn't do it. And you know I didn't do it. But there was a narrative that Andy Ruiz was going to come in and just get blasted out of there.
Yeah.
And to be fair, AJ almost did just that.
Mm-hmm.
He almost did just that. But skipping that, coming back to that later. Ruiz, I don't know why people underestimated Ruiz so much.
Because of his body.
body because he eats Snickers, because he's fat. But you have to look. You have to acknowledge. People have to acknowledge and understand and go back and watch his fights. That guy keeps on throwing. That guy's got fast hands and he keeps on throwing, and he's never failed a drug test to this day.
Yeah. To this day.
To this day. People need to go back and, well, no, I'm not going to use Josh Barnett because he was on Pets in the UFC. But people have to understand that there are some fat guys who can fight.
Yeah.
There are some fat guys who can throw hands. They just have a genetic ability to do that. There are some fat guys who can run 100 meters faster than you or I.
Look at Ray Mercer. Look at Tony Tubbs at the time.
Yes.
Right? Look at Tim Witherspoon. Tim Witherspoon was dominant, and he had a butter soft body.
He did. Going back in time, look at those guys. Look at those big fat guys who could fight back in the 80s and the 90s. Even what's his name? Even Larry Holmes had a pot belly.
Yes. You know, and George Foreman at the age of 45.
Look at big George Foreman. You know,
my man looked like a baby rhino.
He did. So people have to understand that there are some fat kids who can fight.
Yep.
You know, so that's the first thing to commence. And he has a track record and a history of having endurance and fast hands.
Right.
Endurance and fast hands. And to be quite frank, endurance and fast hands. And to be quite frank, I was worried about this fight. I was concerned because AJ has shown cardio conditioning issues in the past. And he was up against a guy who has not shown cardio conditioning issues. He went 12 rounds at the clip with Joseph Parker. 12 rounds at a clip with Joseph Parker. That cannot be overlooked. Come in there. Come in on that, Boxing Jedi.
What was the question? You broke up at the end?
Back now.
You're back now. Okay, well, let's go over to Boxing Block Center. Let's
man. Yeah.
Give your initial thoughts when you saw AJ walking in.
Well, it was. Him walking in looked a little bit. He didn't look himself, to be sincere. I'm not saying this because, I'm an AJ supporter, I'm an AJ fan, and I will continue to be AJ fan, whether I lose or win. I know a lot of people have turned against him. Yeah, I've been seeing some channels, from AJ fan to AJ's exposed, hype job, stuff like that. This same guy beat Parker, this same guy beat White, this same guy beat Klitschko, this same guy beat Takam. So he was able to control distance with Takam and Parker. And even though Parker, has a similar fast hand to Ruiz Jr., if not more faster. Because if you go look at Parker Ruiz bout, Ruiz couldn't even drop Parker.
No.
Ruiz could not even drop Dimitrenko his last fight.
Right.
So I went to watch that fight, and Dimitrenko is already past it. Dimitrenko is a guy that Parker knocked out within 4 rounds.
Right.
And Ruiz Jr. and that Parker fought the guy even way back before Ruiz Jr. fought Dimitrenko.
Right.
And Ruiz Jr. could not drop Dimitrenko in his last bout. So when AJ came in, when he was just coming in, I thought he looked a little bit out of himself. Yeah. I thought he didn't look the same, and he just kind of bobbing his hair, and he had a very great time in Miami, all the stuff. Nice. I'm not making excuses, but you're saying that something went wrong. And after I had to rewatch things, before the 7th round, him telling Robert McCracken, I don't even feel like, why am I here? Like how he felt, like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
I don't feel myself. That tells me that something is wrong somewhere. And that defeat, in my opinion, was a fluke. But I know I've went past what you asked me. I'm just talking in an emotional standpoint right now. So
no, that's fine. That's fine. I will. I'm going to come in there and I'm going to give my opinion of how he looked. To to me, somehow, I know crazy as it may seem, he looked drawn. He looked drained. He looked drained from the start.
His
Yes, John.
his his conditioning wasn't up to par. I'm telling you guys, Joshua's conditioning was not up to par. He took Ruiz lightly. He thought that, you know what, I'm only going to train for certain rounds. I'm not going to push myself as hard because the kid is big and I'm going to get him out of there. You know, you can tell because when he first knocked him down, you saw Joshua walk to the corner with comfortability. Like, okay, I got him. You know, and then when he got up, that's when Joshua knew, oh shit, I have to do. And he gassed out. I'm sorry. I love Joshua as well. I think he's, one of put it this way, he's the best heavyweight in this era right now that this era has to give right now. And, amongst other ones that are, there as well. But Anthony Joshua stands out, and his conditioning was the problem yesterday, fellas. That's why he didn't look too well. That's why, you know what I mean? Like when you don't have enough oxygen, you don't look too well, you know?
And I felt like it was also a little bit muscle bound. Yeah, I felt like, I mean, you just look at the first round. Go check the first round.
Yeah.
After the first round, you could tell it was just Joshua was breathing from his mouth instead of from his nose. From his mouth, you could tell if you take it close, if you zoom it,
Yeah.
if you zoom it and if you zoom the fight and watch it.
Yeah.
After the first round, Joshua was just breathing from his mouth. Something happened.
Yeah, I mean,
it might be fatigue,
Right.
too much training, and also not like they had a game plan. He had a game plan because Rob McCracken was telling him, stick on a jab, don't trade now. He was telling him, but he never took Robert McCrackle's advice serious. And I feel like that was a disrespect to the trainer. Even though people would say you should train, people would say, well, Rob McCracken is not a good trainer. I still think that Rob McCracken is the only guy that can actually rebuild him back. But he just has to listen. He has to listen, bro. He lost. I mean, he got knocked out. He got stopped. People are saying he quit. I don't think he quit. Because someone that wants to quit would never get up 4 times. Someone that want to quit would just make excuses. You know what I mean? Like this Tyson Fury next opponent, Tom Schwartz. You know what he did in the last fight.
Yeah.
That's how you quit. You make excuses.
Yeah,
that's how you quit.
Yeah, but in the case of Anthony Joshua, it was his conditioning yesterday, man. I mean, like, and you even said it. He was fatigued already, walking down the ring. Listen, to carry a lot of muscle, when you have a lot of muscle like that, you have to be very well. This was the problem with Ronnie Lyle. This was the problem with Ken Norton. This is why they never won straps. But they were one hell. They were contenders, okay? They were top. They were the epitome of competitiveness. You know what I mean? They gave every fucking fighter out there, like Ali, Foreman. They gave all these guys great competitive fights. But at certain rounds, they would tank out because they had so much muscle. But back then, their conditioning, that's what they worked on. See, Joshua, for some reason, I think he slapped on this one. He took Ruiz lightly. He took him lightly.
Yeah. My take on it, I really don't know because really it's speculation at the moment. We weren't in the camp. We're just speculating. We just as observers of the fight game. All we can do right now is cast our eye on the situation and speculate as to what we think happened. I mean, it's good that we have different opinions because some people think he didn't train enough. Yeah, I'm thinking he trained too much. It's possible that he trained too much. He looked drained in there.
Overtrained, yeah.
He looked overtrained to me.
And also, he changed the opponent within 5 weeks for the bout. You have to understand that he was training for Jeremy Miller, not for Ruiz Jr. And when he gave his belt to Ruiz Jr. during the weigh-in or face-off, something like that, press conference, he gave his belt to Ruiz Jr. I was like, this is weird. Joshua has never done that before. You know what I mean? Like to give his belt to an opponent. So it was being too nice in the way, and I was like, he's Joshua. I also made a video about that. That is Joshua overlooking dangerous and the Ruiz Jr. I did a video about that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I did it. I said, is he overlooking Andy Ruiz Jr. because I felt like he was doing. I mean, he felt different with Andy Ruiz Jr. He felt like too nice. Felt like he was just comfortable that he will win.
Yeah.
But the thing is that if Joshua had boss, if he had boss, and didn't want to, for example, he boxed the way he did against Parker, I think he'll win that bout.
Right. I have to disagree with Toby, who's saying that the belts will be broken up before the rematch. That's a myth because there's a rematch clause, so all them belts got to come to the table on the rematch.
Yeah.
Listen, Gavely, the belts will be broken up because there's a rematch clause and he has to take place in the UK. And in the rematch, you're gonna Joshua lost the hunger. He lost the energy to like as a contender. You go look at Joshua as a contender. Look, I was just destroying people. Someone like Ruiz Jr. as a contender, Joshua would just stand in his face and start trading, gone blazing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But in this fight, it felt like okay. I mean, maybe being the champion, having too many belts, and maybe wanting to become undisputed is what people are saying now that the Joshua Water bout is dead. I think it's not dead. I think it's still very much on.
Right.
Believe me, with Joshua, when the rematch happens in the UK, and you see Joshua either at Boss or at Boss Regina or Demolition in a fantastic fashion, all these people that are hating on Joshua will start backtracking on their words and say, "Oh, you see, you mean." And then the fight will be on. Even if he has a loss in his record, everyone will lose. And you have to lose at some point because if you don't lose, you just feel like, okay, you can get over. Like John Tawada hasn't lost yet because John Tawada hasn't really taken a lot of risk. Let's be serious here. Let's be serious here. John Tawada, he was already 33 fights in when Telefinco, was asked about when will he fight Klitschko. At that time, Klitschko was already unified champion.
Yeah.
And 33 fights in after he won the belt from Mr. Verne, Telefinco said Water is still a baby.
Yeah.
He is not ready for the likes of Klitschko yet. You see? Water is still a baby. A guy already had the 3 fights is still a baby.
Yeah.
But Joshua, you know what I mean?
Yeah, Joshua underwent attrition a long time ago. Look, this is all I got to say. I'm just going to say it quickly to those who believe that because they're saying that, oh, I can't believe that he got beat by a smaller guy. You guys don't know shit about boxing. If you're saying that, number one. Number two, I guarantee that Ruiz would spark Wilder the fuck up even faster. Faster. He'll get into Wilder even faster.
Oh, yes. I don't see Wilder volunteering to meet Ruiz.
Oh yeah.
I don't see that one tiny little bit. I mean, the belts are now in the Al Heyman camp. The WBC is with Al Heyman, and all the other belts that Ruiz just picked up, they're with Al Heyman.
Right.
So we have interesting times ahead. I don't even want to jump into the rematch just yet. I don't want to get to the rematch just yet.
No. It's no. Listen, Andrews Jr. is just holding that belt. Those belts all stage for. Listen, do you know that if once Joshua beats Andrews Jr. in the rematch in the UK, you know that he become a 2-time heavyweight champion.
Mm-hmm. Well, before we get that's also something. Remember, because Joshua is not a guy who's going to vacate titles. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So, like Fury would do.
But
Fury, if this was against Fury, I would believe Fury would take the rematch. Fury would just.
But before we get to that boxing Black Center, we're gonna get to that. But before we do that, I want us to ponder a little bit more about the actual fight itself. So now
I'm just rewatching the actual fight now, man. I'm just rewatching it.
Okay.
So, I'm just watching now. Like it's crazy. Like after Joshua you can talk. I'm rewatching it now.
I know you're excited. That's all good. You're animated. That's good. But what I'm saying is just to ponder back, just to look back on the fight itself and Joshua's attitude, because we know that fighting is 90% mental. So just to ponder back on his mindset when he got into that fight, to look at the specifics of the round 3 when he put Ruiz down for the first time in his professional career. I just want to look at how he charged in again, how he made the mistake of charging in, thinking, and we have to get into this. Do you think, as I do, that the press, the pressure from the press, the media, the people saying, "Oh, look what Wilder did to Brazil." You know, I have to think that got to him. That got to Joshua because during the live chat that I did, as he knocked him down, I said, "Right, don't charge in." As Ruiz got back up, I was saying to Joshua, "Don't charge in."
Right.
Because I knew in the back of his mind or the front of his mind, he was thinking, "I'm in America. Wilder's just in what Wilder's just done to breeze him. I got to go in there and make a clear statement. I got to take this guy out now." Big mistake.
Huge.
And also, Joshua, when he fights shorter fighters, he tends to have problem with them if he don't really train properly for them. This actually started showing when he fought Carlos Takam.
Yeah.
It started showing when he fought Carlos Takam, and then he had problems there, and then he fought Joseph Parker. Povetkin. Joshua is a guy which can actually do better against taller fighters. You know what I mean? What I mean?
Right,
So that's we have to say that. And Ruiz Jr. has been fighting taller fighters. I don't know since
all his career.
I can since he's 6 years old, because this guy had to fight bullies in school.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can tell that this guy has been really punked on. You know what I mean? Underestimated, and this actually played a part today. Last night. During the bout, but he's all good. I'm gonna be making. Listen, for me, Joshua is still number one, man. I'm still number one. This victory for Ruiz Jr. was seen as a fluke, like an upset. And I think that in the rematch, you're gonna see a different Joshua, a more focused, hungry one, a better boxer. Because Joshua didn't even use this jab, no uppercut. Did it? On the inside, it looked very sloppy. Just look at the body language. In the third round, after he dropped Ruiz Jr., the normal Joshua would take his time, and try to break you down, because he saw he broke Dillian White down. He broke what's his name?
Who are we talking about?
Dominic Brazil. He broke him down.
Yeah.
So he even broke Carlos Takam down, and he broke Povetkin down. He didn't just go there and start swinging. But the third round, Joshua just felt like, okay, let me just swing and all that stuff. And this is good. This is good. It's a good thing. What happened to him is good. It's good. You know what I mean? It's good. You know why? Because now you know that he has to work on stuff, and also he has to listen to his coach. Robert McCracken, if he was that fight, was telling him, listen, don't go wide. Stay on the jab. Stay on the jab. Stay on the jab. That was Robert McCracken's message.
Yeah.
That was his message. Stay on the jab. Stay on the jab. So Joshua kind of fucked himself in the ass, by going too wide and wanting to impress, and all the pressure on the media. Anytime you see, they always ask about Wilder, Fury, Wilder. Now, at least he's lost now. Wilder might say, I'm undefeated, might want to retire undefeated, but I don't think Wilder will ever get the respect Joshua got. Even just look at the social media right now.
Yeah, I'm just like I said.
Ruiz Jr.
Yeah.
Ruiz Jr. His profile went up from 20,000. I started following him when he had like 20,000. From there, after the Joshua fight got announced, he got like 50-something thousand, and now after the win, he got like 300,000 plus. It's still going. Mexicans are supporting it, but Ruiz is not the first Mexican to be a world champion. He's the first Mexican American, because he was born in the U.S. So you cannot say because because I
understand.
It doesn't mean it's the first Mexican American, not first Mexican.
There's going to be a lot of add-ons to this shit. Congratulations to Ruiz, but I just want to say really quickly to those that are saying that Joshua's not the real deal, listen. If you're gonna do that and then praise Ruiz, you're totally contradicting yourself. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like how are you going to say that he wasn't the real deal? He made it all the way up to there, up to where he is, held the titles, fought the toughest competition, the tougher fighters than the other heavyweights that were supposed to. Most of these heavyweights didn't even fight each other yet. You know what I mean? So it's like to actually take away from Anthony Joshua just because he lost yesterday and say that he's not the real deal. I mean, that's kind of stupid. You know, that's really, really stupid of a fight fan to actually say that out of pure whether they're upset at Anthony Joshua because he lost or because they're on Wilder's side or whatever propaganda you're following. You can't take away from Anthony Joshua. I mean, it was Andy Ruiz. Andy Ruiz is no fucking joke. Andy Ruiz is a tough contender.
Real talk.
You know what I'm saying? Like people cannot say that AJ's not the real deal. Meanwhile, he made it all the way up to where the fuck he was, fought tougher competition, had more fucking title defenses, mandatory. But people want to go and praise Wilder, who's the voluntary champ. Come on, man. Like I just don't get boxing logic these days.
I'll come in there. Every fight. Look at every fighter has off nights. Every fighter has off nights. When a heavyweight has an off night, maybe it looks worse. Maybe it looks worse and he has an off night. Look at Lennox Lewis when he went over to South Africa and he had an off night against Rahman. Rahman. You know, look at, he got knocked out that night. And
right.
What happened when eventually he made it back to Rahman? It probably took about 2 years' time. Had to go through court, had to go through litigation to get back to Rahman. But what happened? He starched him. Yep. He laid him out. Highlight reel knockout.
Yep.
I think Rahman's head landed in the crown.
Oh my goodness.
King crown. There's that image where his head just landed perfectly on the canvas in the same place as the Don King crown.
That shit bounced twice.
Oh, bounced twice. It was like bounce like a basketball. I'm glad it was padded. Toby Bartlett in the house. She's busy in the house.
Toby.
Yeah. We've had some people join us. Excellent. Padre Al-Baghdadi in the house. So, I'm as disappointed as the next man.
Yeah.
I'm as disappointed as the next man. But that doesn't mean I'm going to write the guy up.
Let me ask you a question.
One second, Boxing Black Center. 1 second. Just remember your question. That doesn't mean because a guy has an off night, whether he was overtrained, whether he's undertrained, we don't know yet. There's different opinions. I think he was overtrained. A lot of people think he was undertrained. We don't know yet. But just because a guy has an off night, a bad day at the office, which it was a very, very bad day, it doesn't mean he's finished.
Right.
Come in, Black Center. Come in, Black Center. Black Center, come in.
You think that hello?
Yeah, you was cracking up. You was cracking up there, my friend.
Okay. Do you think that Ruiz can beat Dillian White?
That would be a great fight.
That would be a good fight, but I think Ruiz would be too quick for White.
Possibly.
Don't you think Dillian White would dog him?
If he catches him in the corner, in the corner near ropes, yeah, but that's the thing with Ruiz though.
Remember, Dillian White knows how to dog someone.
Right.
Ruiz might have the fastest hands, but Dillian White knows how to dog someone.
Yeah, but speed kills.
Used to have lost this. No. Oh, well, we told Dillian White to him. Dillian White knows how to dog someone. I would love to see that fight. I mean, every division right now is just exciting. I mean, Joshua beat Parker. He had Boston. I feel like Joshua should have done the same with Ruiz, but he wanted to impress the American fans so bad because of the water knockout of the Brazil.
You're cracking up, Boxing.
And
you're cracking up, my friend. You're cracking up.
Saying
Your mic is
According
cracking
to
up.
what I heard this morning from some.
Okay, we're gonna come back to you in a second, Boxing Black Center. Your mic was cracking up there. Your connection was bad, so we're gonna come back to you in a second.
Well, I'm just gonna say this as everybody's saying that AJ's not the real deal. There are a lot of fighters in this era that are not the real deal. There are a lot of fighters in this era that are given fucking accolades and accomplishments that they haven't even fucking gained, right? And they're already saying that they're better than fucking legends. Meanwhile, you got a legend in the welterweight division that's ready to put the beat, that is already putting beats on younger guys in this era. So this era ain't shit. I'm sorry, but this era ain't shit. You can't compare this era to anyone. You can't even make a fabulous four out of this era. But it's funny how you can do it in Pacquiao's era, right? You can do that with the Mexican fighters in Pacquiao because they fought very fucking hard. You feel what I'm saying? We can't even get a Mickey Ward, a Mickey Ward and a fucking shit, man. We can't even get 3 wars. Gotti, we can't even get Ward Gotti wars anymore like that. You feel it? Because these guys are scared. They're scared. They're all about the money. And even when you give them the money, they make excuses. So if we're going to say that Anthony Joshua, who has very hard, right, and correctly, just because he had an off night, all of a sudden he's no good to motherfuckers. Okay, understood. But you can't call yourself a boxing fan then. That's not fair. That's not fair to yourself. That's not fair to your boxing knowledge. That's not fair to the sport itself. You're supposed to respect these fighters, right? Now I understand if, everybody's going to have a hard time. He had a hard time with Takam. He had a hard time. Listen, it's called attrition. It's called baptism under fire. This is how you get good. This is how you fight. This is how you have all types of problems and you become a pro. But these guys don't understand this now because all they want is, he's got to win. He's got to look impressive. Not every fight. Mike Tyson, even knocking dudes out, didn't look impressive at certain nights.
Yeah.
Right? That's all I got to say, man.
Yeah, that's one.
I'm back. I'm back now, bro.
Okay, yeah. That's good. Yeah, man. Jump in, Boxing Black Center.
What I was saying is that I said Dillian White can dog Andy Ruiz Jr. I mean, Andy Ruiz Jr. is a special fighter. Don't doubt me. This guy is a really special fighter. I mean, he doesn't look the part. He said he wants to work on his body now and become the Anthony Joshua of Mexico. that was a little bit weird, but I don't think it beat Dillian White. I don't just think so. I don't just because I feel like White would dog him. You know what I mean? And in boxing, styles makes fight. We have to see the rematch first. Listen, we have to know whether this was a fluke or whether he's the real deal. We know he's a real fighter under Ruiz Jr., but we need to know whether he's the real deal. Because he's different. He's different. If Water was in there last night, believe me, Water would knock Joshua out. I'm just saying the truth. Water would have knocked Joshua out. Immediately hurt Joshua. Immediately Water sends a weakness in you, like he hit you with the right hand, and he sends a weakness and you go wide, and he see you are tired after just one round. You're making one. Then that means you've just given Water the chance to really kill you in the ring.
Right.
You know what I mean? So Joshua was not in his A game. He was not in the C game. He was not even in the D game. He was in the F game. I mean, yeah, that's the truth. So at Wembley, listen, and also travel. Listen, and also I don't want to make excuses. But you have to understand that Joshua going to America, they didn't expect to see such crowd. They didn't expect to see such support for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that actually gave him, that should have given him confidence.
Yeah.
But the pressure, that Dominic Brazil fight, that knockout over Dominic Brazil, he wanted to impress the American public so bad.
Yeah. Performance anxiety.
He wanted to impress the American public so bad. When you are mentally weak, every punch hurts. Because I saw Joshua got hit by Vladimir Klitschko. Was not after he knocked Joshua down. Was not in a ninth round or so in the bout.
Okay.
It was a deadly right hand. That But Joshua never went down. He stayed in there and kept fighting until the 11th round he exploded Vladimir Klitschko. So that mentality was not there because he felt like Ruiz Jr. was just an easy job. And after he knocked him down, he kind of gained confidence and said, let me just explode. You know what? They were just training. I'm just watching right now.
Yeah.
Joshua could have won that fight easy. Okay, easy. After he knocked him down, after he knocked Ruiz down, he should have allowed Ruiz to come on the inside. Ruiz then gained Joshua's respect that this guy has power. Because remember, Ruiz Jr. He has had about 105 amateur bouts, and he has never been dropped in his whole life, his whole career as a boxer. And Joshua dropped him.
Yeah.
So that when Joshua dropped him, you can tell Ruiz Jr. looked like, what the heck just happened? You know? So Joshua should have taken his time and then gained some confidence, but not go in and try to finish this stuff. He wanted to give us an impressive knockout, but
Joshua did the exact opposite of what he should have done after he knocked.
Yeah. After he knocked Ruiz down, he should have stayed calm and then allowed Ruiz Jr. to make another mistake.
He should have let Ruiz get back up.
Yep.
Joshua should have composed himself.
Yep.
And picked his shots. That's all he had to do. That's all he had to do to win the fight in that third round. That's all he had to do.
Right. And I also want people to understand, not to be fooled in any way, just because he looked disparaged in the interview and just because he's saying not now, or if it looks like to you like he doesn't want the rematch. Listen, the dude just lost. He got a lot on his mind. You know what I'm saying? Let's look into this a month and a half from now, and I guarantee you that Anthony Joshua will be back on his game, back on fight. You know, this takes a toll mentally from a fighter. You know what I mean? You know,
and Joshua now, he has to be fighting 3 times a year, no longer 2 times, because when you take a layoff, fighters have to be active. When you take a layoff, you fight. For example, you fight June 1st, you fight in December. Doesn't really make sense. You lose the hunger.
The momentum.
You lose the momentum. You feel like, okay, you are now at the top. You are now at the elite level that you can. No, you have to fight 3 times a year, like you did before. At some point, Joshua fought 4 times a year.
You have to be calloused. Your body has to. Your whole skill has to be calloused.
Yeah, fight like Joshua. One thing about Joshua, he doesn't want to be fighting bums.
Right.
Okay, you want to be fighting top elite fighters, and that's what's killing me. Look at Deontay Wilder's career. I mean, he before now, Wilder was fighting bums.
Let me come in there. Let me come in there because you just made a very good point that I wanted to bring up anyway. So let me come in there. One thing we all criticize the way Deontay Wilder has been handled. We all criticize that, but I have to give his handlers some credit, and I'll explain why. Throughout the history of the heavyweight division, you always intersperse. You always throw a cherry into the champion every now and then.
Right.
You always give him a cherry every now and then. Give him a cherry. Give him a treat. Give him a treat so that not every fight is a high pressure fight.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So for example, 2 tough fights a year, yes. But in between that, the third fight
could be a cherry.
Should be a cherry. It should be a cherry. It should be a cherry because that speaks to the point of keeping the fighter active. It also allows the fighter a chance to experiment and get loose. Of course, a cherry can turn out to be a bad cherry. It can turn out to be a cherry gone wrong, but you're a champion for a reason. You have a rematch clause.
Right.
But I made a video not long ago where Mike Tyson said the only complaint I have about Joshua is that he doesn't fight enough.
You see?
He doesn't fight enough. That's my highest rated video, probably about 12K, something like that. It's a small channel, 12K. Loved it. It was a simple video with Mike Tyson saying, the only issue I have with Joshua is that he doesn't fight enough. So I 100% agree with what you said, Bock Center, about fighting 3 times a year. 3 tough fights and 1 cherry.
Yep.
Three
Yep.
tough fights. Maybe one Sherry and two tough fights.
That's right.
You know, like you see now the you look at Tyson Fury. He fought Seferi Seferi, then fought Pianata. We understood that, and then fought Deontay Wilder, and then he's fighting Tom Schwartz now, and then he's fighting another Sherry Pig again, and then he fight Wilder last year.
Yeah,
You see,
Tyson Fury.
you see.
Tyson Fury has an interesting idea. He fights. Tyson Fury does it the other way around. He fights two cherries and then one tough one. That's smart. It's smart. You can't knock him. It has two cherries and then a tough one.
You know, people should always give credit where it's due. If not for Joshua, the other division wouldn't be so exciting right now. I mean, he managed to pick up all these bets. You know, just being 5 years as a pro in the game, he picked up all the belts. You know what I mean? Except for one, which John Tawala has. And then losing it to Andrews Jr. is a little bit, in my opinion, wasn't expected, but that will make. How huge do you think this rematch is right now, man? This rematch.
I mean, the rematch is gonna happen. But I just want to ask you guys a question real fast. Look, let's do the math real fast. Let's do the Andy, because people can't believe Andy Ruiz. How many losses does Andy Ruiz have?
One.
There you go. So what does this make this kid? He was ready. He was ready for Anthony Joshua. God knows how long this kid has been ready for Anthony Joshua.
And he started Joshua last year. I think last year he was offered the sum of a year ago. He was offered the sum of $30,000 to fight Joshua. He turned it down.
Yeah, which was a smart move because look what he got now.
And now he's getting $7 million.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And then you got $7 million. And the next fight, if they fight, he's gonna get I don't know, maybe more than 10 or 15. Who knows, man? It's gonna be huge. It's gonna be huge.
My whole point, pointing that out, was that now people have to see now that Andy Ruiz is basically on top. It's not Wilder. You know what I mean? Andy Ruiz right now got 3 goddamn straps. He's on top. If he passes the rematch, if there's going to be a rematch, I'm guaranteeing you this. I guarantee you this. He'll want a Wilder fight. Wilder won't want to fight him.
Yeah.
I guarantee you that.
Yeah.
Listen.
Wilder won't want nothing. In my opinion, Wilder won't want nothing to do with Ruiz.
Listen, Wilder is a perfect opponent for Ruiz Jr. I mean, Wilder don't like pressure, and when you see a pressure fight like, but one thing I question, Ruiz is that Shane is a suspect, man.
Ruiz.
Listen, if Wilder really hit Ruiz Jr. like the way Joshua hit him when he went down, Wilder would have gone windmill on him. I don't know how he can attack him. Well, listen. Even if I'm not a fan of Wilder as a fighter, but I know that if that guy hurt you, that windmill that he has, that windmill style.
Yeah, it's true.
Wilder is use every illegal punch available when he goes windmill. You know what I mean? Like he uses ham, he uses hairball, he uses everything to make sure he keeps you there. So I don't think, and Wilder is a much more better fighter when he fights shorter fighters. You look at a speaker fight. Wilder is very good in fighting short fighters, but he struggles with taller fighters. While Joshua struggles with shorter fighters, but don't struggle with taller fighters. So this is why I say all these 3 Wilder. Now Ruiz is the number 1 heavyweight in the world now.
Yeah.
He's the unified champ.
He's a unified champ now. So, do you? If Ruiz managed to beat Joshua in the rematch, I don't see it happening because I think Joshua is going to come different. Okay, very different mentality to what happened last night. We know that already because Joshua now will become hungry to become a 2-time heavyweight world champion.
Right.
That's something special, And then if Ruiz gets past and Joshua in the rematch, we know we cannot really count it because I never counted Ruiz out, but I never thought he could knock Joshua out. And that knockout stays same. It looks like Joshua was exhausted already. I mean, he didn't really know Joshua. Joshua was already exhausted because you could tell Joshua was just like staggering. The legs were gone. Thing was in the third round. The legs were just gone completely. He managed to hold on and hold on and hold on, but couldn't. And he should have stayed with the game plan, stick to the game plan, but he didn't. But that's what happens. And now he's lost. He's lost. He has one loss on his record.
Yeah,
TKO, TKO. So
there's a lot of factors that played out in this, and it all went against Anthony Joshua. You know what I mean? And it happens. He had more adversity going against him as to beyond the physical realm. You know what I mean? He had to deal with the changing of opponent styles. And trying to train for that. So I think Raf is completely correct when he says that maybe it could be that his cardio. Well, I said his cardio is not to par, but he also overtrained because he also had to try to how do you say, adapt and try to train and try to fix his style to Ruiz's style and study Ruiz a little. And I think doing the transition in between that, I think is exactly what wore him out. No excuses though, man. Congratulations to Andy Ruiz, man.
No. Listen, no excuses. Congrats to Ruiz Jr. For that fantastic win and becoming the first Mexican American, not Mexican because he was not born in Mexico.
Bro. Yeah, Mexican American.
I'm in Nigeria because I was born in Nigeria. Joshua is a British Nigerian.
Right.
Okay, because he was born in Britain, so it represents Britain, represents Nigeria. Andrews Jr. is a Mexican American. People calling him a Mexican is a disrespect too, because I never actually saw him mention America. That's a disrespect because America actually gave you the opportunity to be in this position. Without America, you would be shared in Mexico.
Right.
Let's keep it real.
Right.
Like for example, in Joshua, I don't think Joshua would be in this same position if he was to stay in Nigeria. After when he went to Nigeria when he was young, then I don't think he would get this opportunity or become a youth star like this. I think it will go far like Ike Abuchi went far. Ike Abuchi would retired undefeated. You know what I mean? And he was a monster. But that one the guy just kind of, I mean, he's the reason why his career ended. He went to jail, just mentally got destroyed.
Yeah.
So he stopped boxing. But after that, then you have Samuel Peter, who actually did his best, but there's never been a huge star like this of Nigerian descent, other than Anthony Joshua, man. You know what I mean? So
right.
I'm proud of him. I'm proud of his achievement, even though he lost. And you see, so man, a lot of Mexicans are still very much, applauding him, saying, "Well, wow, what a champion!" After losing like that, a lot of people, a lot of fighters would just come out after losing and say, "Oh, you see, I was so weak. Our training was so hard." Joshua said, "Nah, it's my fault. Okay, it's my fault. If you beat me, it's my fault. I don't have to blame it on training or fatigue. Even though we saw one guy was just massaging his neck, I was like, I've never seen that before." You know me. I never saw that before. Like in the ring, I think something. That's why when I saw that, I was like, "What the hell is this?" I mean, yeah. So I saw that. I was, what the hell is this? I've never seen Joshua, being massaged like that in the ring. Like I've seen it, normal. We saw it on Instagram or online, something like that, which happens. But I never actually saw that before in the ring. I was like, is something wrong with his neck? And also, you look at that high. Okay, look at the right eye. That we saw what happened to that his face.
Yeah,
I think it was the left eye or something like that. Bruised a little bit. I told you he got bruised and sparring when he said it's a physio stuff like that. I told you all those things. We just kind of winking them. He didn't even felt confident. He didn't even want to be there. That's why he went in there to try to knock Ruiz out. He didn't even want to be there.
Right.
They didn't want to be there.
Well, I think that clearly we've identified. I mean, there's two areas. There's two areas that we can identify as being an issue in that fight. Option one, it could have been physical, either undertraining or overtraining. I think he was overtrained. And two, there was a mental issue where I believe he was thinking ahead too much. He was thinking about Wilder. He was thinking about how Wilder did it. I've got to do it better than Wilder. Those are the two areas that I identify as being potential problem areas. The physical, because he looked drained to me from the start. I'm not saying this now. I'm saying it. I was saying it at the time. I said, no. He looks wrong. Wrong. He looks tense. Why the hell? Of course, you're gonna have a certain amount of tension, but he looks tense, and I mean, he looks tense. And I think it's speculation, of course, but I think it was his desire, over desire, to make an impression on his American debut.
Right.
If that was in the UK, I don't think you'd have had that tension.
No, not really.
No.
I
wouldn't.
I don't think you'd have had that tension. It was just so tense. It was ridiculous. And then that tension stemming from his desire to make a massive impression in America. I mean, to me, that's what your corner's for. That's why you have advisors. That's why you have a team to put you in the right frame of mind. If you're veering off, they should redirect you. They should be telling you how to think. If they see you thinking wrong, they should be literally telling you how to think.
Yep.
Because the fight game is primarily mental.
Yeah.
So clearly, if anybody in his team picked up that he was thinking wrong, then that should have been corrected. But I will say this. When it happens in the UK, let me go back and address something that I saw in the chat earlier on. Saying that Anthony Joshua don't want the rematch with Ruiz.
Yeah.
I saw the post-fight press conference. There was a press conference of Joshua post-fight. And somebody said, well, you want to take an easy fight in between the rematch? He says, easy fight? We don't do easy fights. Now, that's admirable from AJ. That's admirable, but I think we learn from the past. Sometimes you need a cherry every now and then. Deontay Wilder has too many cherries. Yes, I agree. But
he got cherry pies.
Yeah, he has cherry pies. That's too much. But you need a cherry every now and then. Joshua's fighting pressure fight after pressure fight after pressure fight. You need a cherry every now and then. So I wouldn't have a problem. I'll ask this to the panel. I'll throw this out to you guys. I'll throw this out to you first, Jedi. Would you have a problem with Anthony getting a cherry before the Ruiz fight?
Me personally?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Jedi. Oh, no. I mean, like I said, no. But the way I grew up watching boxing, there weren't cherries. There weren't many cherries. You know what I mean? Like everybody was a top contender. Everybody was a killer. Everybody was a hard hitter. So that's what I'm. So the way Joshua was fighting, having no little fucking rest, no cherries in between, taking the top contenders and his number one mandatories, like that to me, that's why I say he was fighting correctly. So I think the way it was inevitable, man. He was fighting hard contenders. Andy Ruiz with one loss, mind you. Let's remember. Yeah. One loss only. So this kid is no joke, okay? And he lost to he lost to someone who was well deserving.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Boxing Black Center. Would you have a problem if Anthony Joshua had a cherry between now and his Ruiz fight? And that goes out to the chat too. To the chat. Would you have a problem if Anthony Joshua had a cherry between now and the Ruiz match?
Listen, and Joshua must have one more fight. It must be against a cherry.
Yeah,
he should do that. I mean, except they have a very great game plan that they want to implement in the rematch. First of all, I think he needs to trim down a little bit because the weight he fought Dillian Whitehead was that weight he fought Dillian Whitehead. It was he looked normal, it looked very different back then compared to now. Now it looks like he's lost the energy to kind of lose some weight or some muscle or something like that. Yeah. But I feel like Joshua now is out of confidence. I mean,
mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? His confidence now is down. Mm-hmm. So he needs to get that contender or prospect confident back ASAP because
Yeah.
he's at the listen. There is no going back right now, but there's still a way out. The way out, Listen, you know what? Me, I'm a Joshua fan. I'm a Nigerian. I support Joshua for life. Okay, uh, but there's a way out. But it must have a cherry. Okay, a cherry first, then we'll see what really happened. And first of all, the first thing he has to do is trim down and have a sherry, and then get ready for the rematch. And you see the different Joshua. Be motivated.
Okay.
If
Now
he
let
does,
me.
if he does, okay. If he does, one more thing. If he does not have a sherry, I don't know. I'm not gonna listen. If he does not have a sherry, and the rematch happened, and Joshua is still the same like he is now, I might have to hedge Ruiz for that win, man. I'm just saying. Yeah, listen, I'm speaking my mind. I might have to, because if you come in the same shape you are now, you know, no weight loss, something like that, and then I mean, it doesn't no weight, not muscle and muscle loss, no muscle loss, something like that. Then you don't have some sherry. I mean, it's gonna be the occasion might get to you because the Ruiz rematch is gonna be even much more bigger. Okay, much bigger than it was in New York, man. And you know that already. You know British fans will come up at
Right.
Wembley. They
Right.
will support.
So, so, yeah, the mic, your mic there, boxing block. I think you're knocking the mic. I think it's sounds like a
No,
knocking
no,
noise sometimes. No problem.
I'm
No,
I'm
no.
not I'm not knocking the mic, bro.
Oh, okay, no problem. So let me come back in there, right, immediately, and talk to or address this issue. Let us address Joshua's weight. Let us address Joshua's weight. He came in at 200 and what was it? 250 in the high 250s. Is that am I
Yeah.
right? Or he
Yeah.
came in some yeah,
He came in like what against
Two
Ruiz? He came in
two
at two.
forty eight.
Yeah, he came in at 246. Actually,
246,
246.
247,
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
247. I think it was 247.
yeah.
Uh confirm that in the chat. I think his weight was 247. Now, my thing is Joshua has to be closer to 240. He has to be under 245, closer to 240 to have his optimal cardio. You know, his
Hmm.
cardio has to be a priority. We don't know what happened in training camp, but and I can imagine him thinking, yeah, because Ruiz is so big, let me be a little bit bigger. But I think Joshua performs best in the low 240s.
Right, right, right. He can't come in too big, man. I mean, if boxing, if he decides not to, continue boxing, he can always bodybuild. No, and I'm not saying this out of, I'm saying this seriously. I mean, the dude is like a Ken Norton. Remember
Yeah,
Ken Norton, the
totally,
physique,
totally.
the physique this guy had, man. You know what I mean? Like, he's very well put together, but some of that muscle, he's going to have to lose that, man.
Yeah.
He's gonna have to really, really think about where he wants to go now with his durability. All that is part of that. Like he really, really needs to lose some of that muscle, man.
Yeah.
Lose some, because at the same time, he's got some body fat on him as well.
Mhm.
He's not like 3% body fat. You know
No.
what I mean? Like he's got some body fat on him, and I'm more than sure that it's about at least 6 to 10 pounds on him that he's got on top of the muscle. So
Yeah.
if he was to cut that shit down, he'd be okay.
For real. Boxing Block Center.
Well, mm, I think that he should come on the same way when he fought the White. I think it should come like that as well.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, and I
Absolutely.
think it was close to a 240, or was
Yeah.
not 240 something.
Yeah. That's I totally agree. Totally agree. That
240.
that was his
That when
best. That was his best.
that was his best weight. You
Yeah.
know, and it should come like that because yeah, you want to be heavier, but if you're gonna be heavier in a tough fight, I mean, does Joshua actually underestimated Ruiz? Because if he knew he was gonna listen, I'm not gonna blame him too much because this was like a late replacement opponent. If Joshua had said in the past, okay, I'll be fighting Ruiz next, people would say, what the hell is that? You know, people wouldn't want to watch it. They would say, look at this guy he's fighting. This guy from the pub. You know what I mean? You know, this neighbor of mine is fighting a neighbor of mine. You know what I mean? Like people wouldn't like it, but you know, let's not forget that Ruiz Jr. just defeated Dimitrenko. So that confidence was already with him. You know, he already had a confidence that, okay, now the defeated guy, I'm gonna go in there and shock the world. And that's what he did. And a lot of people just counted him out. I mean, a lot of people. I did not actually count him out. I never thought it will knock Joshua out. I said he might win, but I don't see it happening. That's what I said, and that's what I said. But I never saw him stopping Joshua. You know, because the people he could not stop. I mean, there are lots and lots of you know mediocre fighters that he could not even stop. You know, you know what I mean. So it's kind of strange that for him to stop Joshua is like a dream. Like people have been writing me like, what do you think about that? What the hell is wrong with AJ? AJ wasn't himself. I mean, I said, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, this is a good win on his career, and he's a good win for his career. But we'll see. He's now the number one heavyweight rank in the world. Okay. He now has 5-star. Joshua has 4-star now. Joshua has 5-star now. Joshua has still have 5-star anyway. Let's see. When Ruiz Jr. when he fought Kevin Johnson, okay?
Yeah.
He could not knock Kevin Johnson out. Even with all the speed and all the stuff that he had, he couldn't even knock Kevin Johnson. That was last year. He couldn't knock him out. And we know Joshua destroyed Kevin Johnson in second round. So you have to understand, and also he fought Rafael Zubanolov, okay? A guy that Joshua bamboozled. Rafael Zubanolov. You remember Zubanolov?
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah.
That guy, like Joshua bamboozled that guy, and the original could not stop that guy. That guy has the weakest chin ever. Then he fought as well Joel Goffrey. Couldn't stop him. He fought Sahil Liakovic. Couldn't stop him. You know? He fought Cameron Johnson. Could not stop him. Fought Homero Fonseca. Could not stop him. So I'm not gonna buy. Listen, I know Ruiz is a very good fighter, but I'm not buying this crap that he beat Joshua up. Nah, Joshua had a bad night. The fatigue played a part. You know, the atmosphere played a part because he underestimated Randers Jr. That played a part as well. And you know, you have to remember when people fight Joshua, they come with their A game, meaning they want to defeat it because they know defeating him brings everything.
Yes, 100%.
So Joshua should have been ready for that, and he shouldn't have allowed the pressure to consume him. The pressure from the water knockout. That one people kept saying he must perform. He must. That was just that was just a problem for him. I think he felt like I had to do that. I had to perform. The American, you know.
Yeah.
But I think, I can keep talking about this stuff, man. I mean, I'm gonna be making videos upon videos about this topic, and also I don't know, man. The Godzilla lost as well, man.
I'm just saying this, man. I'm just happy that we get to take a break from this Joshua Wilder bullshit that these guys are trying to spin.
Yeah,
I'm happy that shit is put to rest, but now we're gonna have to deal with AJ's not the real deal. And it makes no sense to me. That's the new shit that's gonna go around. So expect that shit. But real boxing heads know exactly what the fuck it is. You don't discredit or disvalue a fighter just because he's got one fucking loss and he looked bad. You know what I mean? And it's just ridiculous. And like I said, we're just gonna have to sit and wait for the next episode to see exactly what happens.
Ruiz Jr. couldn't stop Kevin Johnson. That alone, with his hand speed and everything, that alone just made me believe that Joshua was not in his A game, B game, C game, D game.
You're right. You're totally right.
That
You're totally
that
right.
alone, that alone, Rafael Zubanov.
I mean, yeah, you could, yeah, we could say
Rafael Zubanov. He couldn't
we could
stop him.
we can say that too, but at the same time, you also have to look at the way Joshua got sloppy and got caught.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he was tagging the shit out of Ruiz,
Yeah.
knocked him down. He just got over anxious and got caught out there. That's
Yeah.
what happened. On top of him
Bro,
not being very well conditioned and fatigued.
Yeah.
bro, if you know about Rafael Zubanov, do you understand what I mean? Rafael Zubanov, is a guy that has one of the weakest chin ever. I
I
mean,
know. I know.
Joshua tossed him with the right hand, and it just fell off, and it was over.
Right.
Correct.
Yeah.
So and Ruiz has the fastest hands in every boxing, according to what people are saying. I actually think that Joseph Parker has the fastest hands, but Ruiz is a very fast guy to consider. You know, I respect a guy, and also Ruiz. What do you guys think about Ruiz' humility? He's very humble, very honest. I mean, he's not even like, imagine what if that was Wilder. My God, he would have said shit.
Well, he's already
Oh,
Wilder's already talk crap. He's already talk crap. He wasn't even involved in the fight. You
yeah,
remember the video I just played for the
Yeah.
Katie Taylor thing. He's already talk crap. So you see, but Wilder's a man who lives off cherries.
He's a limbo
listen.
master.
He's a
If
limbo
everything,
master, and he's a
if ever,
limbo
if ever,
master, and he lives off cherries. I mean, when you have to put this thing into perspective, AJ wasn't there. AJ wasn't there last night for whatever reason. We don't know. We can only speculate. But AJ was not there last
bro,
night.
I'm just rewatching this fight. Joshua just gassed out in the first round, bro. When have you ever said when in the first round Joshua was already tired, breathing from his mouth?
Well,
I'm
what?
just I'm just rewatching it right now. You know, yesterday I couldn't. You know, I was just too emotional and just kind of. I was listen. A lot of people. So I saw a grown man cried, man.
Yeah.
Right? You know, it sent me a voice, man. He was just crying.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I was like a grown man crying. Joshua is so loved, you know, so adored by people, and I feel like even right now, Joshua is still the biggest draw in evolution. Ruiz might have the title now,
Yeah.
but Ruiz can never be a big draw, can never get the sponsorship or the commercial deals that Joshua has.
Yeah,
I
no
mean,
doubt.
it's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. Ruiz, even the sneakers, they haven't even have they given sponsored them yet? No, they still haven't sponsored them yet.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Peace to Mike D. What's going on, Mike D, my brother? I gotta see it like this. It's too early to actually talk about Ruiz's future because, like I said, if he, he has to get past the rematch. And it's too early to talk about Joshua because we don't even know if he's gonna actually come back. A lot of people think he's gonna be some coward and be like, no, I retire from boxing. Because I mean, I can see it. If you look at the comments, if you look everywhere and everywhere, I think he's packing it up. I don't think he wants the rematch. I think he's had enough.
Bro, Joshua will, believe me, Joshua will avenge that loss.
Oh, I know he will.
I
know he will.
I'm telling if someone doubted me today, and when that rematch happened, I would like to bet with someone 200 euro or whatever you want to bet for any one of the water fanboys there. Joshua is going to avenge that loss in a rematch. Well, you are going to see a different Joshua in a rematch. That I can promise you.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Well,
I'm telling the truth because the Joshua, I'm just watching right now. I'm watching Joshua fight right now. That fight yesterday, Joshua gassed in the first round. I've never seen that before.
Damn.
Never seen that before. Joshua gassed out in the first round, breathing from his mouth.
Damn.
And telling Rob McCracken in the sixth round, why am I here? And what the hell is that? What is going on behind the scenes? And also, Joshua's dad, who just came back from Nigeria, had some winning on Eddie Hearn. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I saw that.
He went on Eddie Hearn.
They had some Joshua's dad had some words for Eddie Hearn in the ring. I don't know what that was about. but there's some pictures of a little, Joshua's dad speaking angrily to Eddie Hearn, and Joshua puts his arm out.
No
Joshua,
doubt.
People,
Hey guys, I'm
people,
sorry. I'm sorry, guys. Hold on. We gotta say what's up to OG, okay,
yeah.
from the boxing community. My man Zone 6. What's going on, Zone 6?
Okay, Zone 6. I've never seen him in here, so it's good
Yo,
to have you.
yeah, check him out, bro. He's the OG, man. He's been with the best of them.
Yeah, Zone 6 is saying AJ's finished.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
I don't know about that.
I mean, if we was to sit down and because later on I'm gonna invite him to an open stream that I'm gonna have. So if you guys want to go there,
Yeah,
I'm more than
sure.
sure. I'm more than sure he'll explain to you exactly why he says that.
Yeah, I'll be there. I'll be there, bro. I'll be there later for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
just send me the link. I will hop on, as usual.
Yeah,
Definitely.
for sure. Yeah. So going back into the fight now, we're talking about going forward, because I'll just say that in round 6, AJ was gassed. I don't know about round 1. I'll have to rewatch it, but in round 6, I clearly saw that AJ was gassed. So we've covered that topic. We know there was some cardio issues, whether that stemmed from the mind or the body or the training, we don't know. But in round 6, I thought, it looks like it's over.
Yeah.
So going forward now, because
let me ask you guys one question before we go forward.
Yeah.
Like, you look at the internet right now, and you have seen how happy the Mexicans are.
Yeah.
They're like, he's done the unbelievable, but they are not counting on Ruiz to beat Joshua in the rematch. They're just happy for the guy that he won this bout. They're not counting him to win the rematch. So what will happen? Do you think Ruiz will be the favorite in the rematch?
I really don't know, because I didn't expect such a poor performance from Joshua. So right about now, my mindset is, wow, whatever went wrong, and we don't know what it was. Whatever went wrong, he needs to correct that. Clearly, there was something. I don't know if there was something physical as well as mental, but 100% we know there was something mental.
All right. This is Raf and boxing. This is exactly why Zone 6 says this. He says, and it makes sense. I mean, a lot of fighters who make a lot of money usually aren't there. He says AJ has checked out of boxing. He has a lot of life options outside of boxing. So maybe
I know, but I don't think AJ would like to go out on a loss like this, man. Nah, man. Klitschko went out on a loss that we appreciate, because Klitschko and AJ had one phenomenal fight, okay?
Right.
But AJ would never go out on a loss like this. I mean, he is going to avenge his loss, and is going to continue. And I don't know if the water bout is still as big as it was, but I believe that if water loses, it's next. I don't know if he would lose against Ortiz. I don't think so. Ortiz is already 59 years old. But water, if he doesn't cherry pick and actually fight Tyson Fury, I think he will lose that bout. You know.
I believe that there's hills and valleys in everything. Hills and valleys. So even if it were the case, let's take Zone 6's statement. AJ has checked out of boxing. Even if it were the case, I'm not saying it is, but even if it were, even TBK says retire my ass. Even if it were the case that AJ, let's say, lost focus, he won't lose focus for long.
Right.
That's a valley.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like a lot of fighters, they go through the mental stress the first couple of months if they let it go that far, and then they come back. Oh no, I didn't retire. I'm ready. I mean, look, simple case. Sugar Ray Leonard. How many times he retired on us?
Multiple.
You know what I mean? Because he felt like he wasn't. You know what I mean? And the guy who finally retired in front of us all was Mike Tyson, because he said, "I'm not going to make a mockery of the sport." You know?
Yeah, for real. So even if there are always hills and valleys, this was a low point. It doesn't mean it doesn't mean that a low point won't be followed by a high point. Just because someone has a low point, it doesn't mean that that's where they stay.
Right, right,
What's the
right,
saying? You fall 7 times, you get up 8 times.
right,
You
right.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
He's not AJ, okay, he had a down point, but you got to give the man credit. He has fortitude.
yeah, and
He has
as
shown.
well.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And as well, like I was saying, a lot of fighters, after they lose press conferences or whatever, they look like, they're done. They don't want anything more of the sport. Some of them even go as far as saying, "Oh, I'm retiring." But and then, when you give them a good month and a half, 2 months, it's a different case. So we can't, like I said, we're just gonna have to wait and see what the future brings for Joshua. You know what I mean? And for Ruiz, But personally, I think Ruiz will beat the shit out of Wilder too.
I agree. I think so too. So,
Ruiz can beat Water, but I still believe that if he gets caught with that right hand, listen, Joshua bottled that fight, man. After rewatching that fight again and again, Joshua bottled it. If that was Water, it is way made time, and with his hair bow, with his body, everything, he would try to implement all of it, man.
well, it's beautiful to have different opinions and varying opinions, but we're coming close to the end of this stream. How long have we been? We've done a good 1 hour 30, so we're coming to the end, and we're coming to wrap this up, tie a bow on it. So we're coming to the close. So what's the last topic that I want to close out on? We talked about the rematch. I say he needs a cherry. Boxing Jedi says no cherries. Boxing Black Center says a cherry here and there. I believe that Joshua will come back. I wanted to come back with the cherry before he gets in with Ruiz again. But let us touch on the critics, the naysayers from overseas, those guys who were acting like they did something when they didn't do a damn thing. How can a next man rejoice at a fighter losing when he didn't beat him?
Exactly.
I mean the LABC guys and those guys.
Yes.
They're all relieved because they know that had that shit went down, it wouldn't have went down like it did with Ruiz. It would have been different,
Listen, those guys are just praying that Joshua loses momentum. But the thing is that Joshua has it's so big, bro. I'm just telling you the real fact.
Yeah.
Say that again, please. Boxing Block Center. Say that again, please.
Hello, you hear me now?
Yeah, can you say that again? I didn't catch what you said.
I said those guys.
Yeah.
They want to see the star power of Anthony Joshua diminish. They don't like the guy.
Right.
They don't like the fact that someone is as humble as he is.
Right.
But they are just wasting their time. They are wasting their time because Joshua is actually bigger than you think.
Yeah.
And after losing that bout, he even gained more followers. I mean, I just saw it a few minutes ago. He now has 9 million followers.
Wow.
Right. Wow.
He lost his profile. Still rose.
Wow.
People still follow people. Listen, this loss is very great. Is great. We know why I say it's great because listen, I see a lot of media in America who were shocked, were quick to kind of write a story about that loss. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that brings them revenue. You understand? That brings I'm listening, bro. You can talk.
Yeah. No. I just want to know how in the hell is Andy Ruiz a cherry pick? Wow.
No way.
I would like to know exactly how the hell is Andy Ruiz a cherry pick?
No.
This is exactly. No, I'm not talking
Ruiz
about you. I'm not talking about you. It's in the comment section.
Yeah.
It's in the comment section. Like this is exactly what I mean. Like stop it already, bro.
That's
stop
foolish.
It.
Very
That's
foolish.
Ridiculous.
Very, very foolish. It's just, you see, I told people time and time again, and they thought maybe some people thought I was joking. I told people time and time and time again that Ruiz is the real deal.
Right.
Time and time again, Ruiz. This is ingrained and instilled in Ruiz. He knows the man knows how to fight. Put him in there with anybody, and he will give them a fight.
Yep.
Anthony Joshua on this day he underperformed. That wasn't the grade A Anthony Joshua. That wasn't if Anthony Joshua came in as grade A and then he lost, then you could talk. But Anthony Joshua knows, like, let's say you fail your driving test, but you know what you did wrong. That was not your grade A performance.
Right. Right.
That's not Anthony Joshua's grade A performance. When he performs at grade A and falls short, then you can say something. At the moment, all we can say is that, boy, he wasn't right. We know he was not right. But getting back to the point of a man who didn't fight him celebrating that he lost. What kind of mindset? What kind of mindset is that?
Oh man, that's on some coward shit. That's on some. Oh, somebody did my work for me.
Exactly, but a man is celebrating that he lost out on 100 mil. How the hell can you celebrate? How the hell can you celebrate that you lost out on 100 mil?
Boston has always been politics for those guys, and it's just crazy because they shit on Days On, but they watch Days On. They subscribe to Days On. You see?
Yeah. Yeah.
They shit on Days On. Now they hate Eddie Hearn so bad, man. Those guys, they fucking hate Eddie Hearn, bro. Like Eddie Hearn now is just no. I don't know what to say. This guy is just now down, and Eddie Hearn, yeah. I mean, he did a great job. What do you expect a guy to do? I mean, that was a soda arena, and Joshua will be back. That one I'm sure of because I know the unified heavyweight king of the whole universe will actually reclaim his throne and become a two-time unified heavyweight world champion. That's an achievement alone, man.
Absolutely.
So after the defeats Ruiz, we want to see the water fight. Okay, until water step up. Cherry pick. That's all I have to say. Cherry pick. Bro, because you can't get. Listen, Usyk is there. Usyk can beat Andy Ruiz Jr. Yes. Usyk is a much better fighter than Andy Ruiz Jr. You know that. Usyk is the Lomachenko of heavyweight division right now. Yes, he's not for heavyweight.
Well, we can't say the heavyweight just yet, but we can say where he came from, which is cruiser.
Bro, are you telling me that Usyk cannot beat Carlos Takam?
I mean, we don't know this. We don't know this because we don't know. Yeah. We don't know if he's going to carry that power. We don't know if we have to.
But you know, Manuel Charr got beat by Maurice British.
Okay.
In every division.
I understand that. I understand that, but we can't go by triangle theory. We have to wait until the performance is giving, sir.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Bro, Usyk is Lomachenko. Listen, I'm not hyping the guy up. I'm just saying the fact. Usyk is Lomachenko of heavyweight division. Yeah, he hasn't been tested yet. We know still has to prove us wrong or right. But Usyk, his style alone, his boxing skills alone, his boxing IQ alone, his ring IQ, he is just too much. He's on another level. Usyk is there, and Usyk. Listen, if Joshua don't fight Ruiz Jr. For example, Ruiz Jr. He's saying he want to make the fight happen in Mexico. You know, Joshua is not going to go to Mexico. You saw what happened. You wanted to go there again and get drained mentally again by Mexican fans. What the hell? You want because Mexican fans are such proud and they're loud people, man. You know, the British crowd took over last night, but the Mexican fans are going to be there if it happens in Mexico. I don't think Joshua would like to go to Mexico and fight the guy there. So if it doesn't happen, if the match doesn't happen, Ruiz Jr. will have to fulfill his mandatory. Yep. That means Dylan White play is in the game right now. So I don't see Ruiz Jr. holding that belt, defending that belt against top contenders like White and Usyk and all the other guys coming up. You know what I mean? I don't see him doing that because we know. Listen, it's different being a contender than being a champion because champions
I
They only have
don't
they have
know. Andy Ruiz is, I'm telling you, he's no joke, kid. I said this before the fight. I've been saying this on my on many of my lives and videos. I've said this years behind. I mean, like I said, man, this could be Ruiz's time, and I'm more than sure that Ruiz is gonna, if he gets past Joshua the second time, I'm telling you, Wilder is going to duck him.
bro. But Ruiz will not reign supreme for a long time. I'm telling you the fact right now. If he meets Usyk, Usyk beats him easy. Usyk outbosses him easy. That. That's a fact. Okay, only person I know can beat Usyk is Joshua and Fury. That's all I know. But Joshua on his F game, Usyk we just toy with him. I mean, Usyk we just toy with him like Usyk. Man, look, listen. This guy's coming right now. Right now, Gaziev. Remember, Gaziev is also there now.
Okay.
Or in Matru. You know, they don't have now top heavyweights right now. They have the top 10, top 5 heavyweights right now. You have Dillian White there. You have Gaziev who's coming up. You have Edgovich as well, a monster. You have Usyk. You have Michael Hunter. That guy is underestimated, but I don't think he's that good. But he got outclassed by Usyk. But Michael Hunter can also surprise anyone on his day. These guys are hungry, and even if Joshua is out of the game, they are still going to want to fight Joshua because Joshua, without a bet, is still a cash cow. Anyone he fights, he sells out. So I feel like if Joshua become two-time world champion, if Joshua becomes a two-time world champion, what he has to do is to call Deontay Wilder out. Listen, if he wants to beat Andrew Jr. in the rematch, I'll boss him or I'll class him or knock him out. He should when he does that, he has to then call out Wilder, man. Yes, then Wilder's confidence will be high there. Say, let me take this bout. You know what I mean?
Well, there's
Fight Wilder. That's what I have to say because don't listen. Fight Wilder if you get past Andrew Jr. And then if you beat Wilder, leave the bets, man. Vacate the bet because there are lions coming up right now that you don't want to go in with. Listen carefully. Wilder, Fury, Joshua. Those 3 guys, they might not have reached their prime, but they are the less. Okay, let's say Tyson Fury is the most skilled fighter, but you've got goons coming up. In fact, Joe Joyce beats Andrews Jr. No matter that last night. You might say, well, what the hell is that? Joe Joyce is very slow. But it turns out Joe Joyce has one hell of a chin and is going to pressure Andrews Jr.
Yeah, I mean, I respect what you're laying down, but me personally, I never go premature like that. I wait until I see the
yeah. I'm just saying styles make fight. Joshua should have been able to just either outboss Andrews Jr., keep him on the bay with a jab and fight him on the outside, or knock him out like he was about to do yesterday.
Right.
Instead, his fatigue played a part. And he got hit on the forehead like that, and on the side of the head, I guess. Boom! He got concussed. Listen carefully. Joshua was already mentally down, mentally drained, because boxing is all about muscle. Is about the mental game. 99% is the mental aspect of it, and then you have the 1%, which is the physique. Andrews Jr. might look like your neighbor, fat neighbor you see on the street, walking around.
You look like a fucking manatee.
You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't look in shape, and I don't think he'll ever be in shape, except he takes some drugs. Like if he want to do steroids or something like that, he cannot be in shape like Joshua. There's no way he can be like that. Yeah. So, but one thing you have to give the guy is that he has the mentality. His mental game is A+. His mental game, and his mental game is A+. But I don't know how he will feel, how he can withstand being a champion for a long time, defend his title against top content, not cherry picker. But I think if Andrews Jr. stick with that belt, Heyman is the advisor. Cherry picker is going to come up. You know what Heyman does. You know already.
Yeah,
you're not ready.
Yeah,
you're not ready. Fighting guys like Charles Martin, guys you don't want to see fight. That's why they would try maximize that fight until he fights Wilder. You know what they're gonna do. Listen. If Andrews Jr. keep hold of that belt, maybe the rematch don't happen. He said, "Okay, I want it in Mexico," and Joshua said, "No, I'm not. I'm not fighting in Mexico. Fighting in UK. If there's some there's some disruption there in the negotiation, I know he's obliged to fight Joshua Nest. If there is or maybe a disruption in negotiation table, and Ruiz, keeps hold of that belt, believe me, he's gonna be fighting bombs upon bombs upon bombs upon bombs until the water bout happen. And
Well,
also, the air division is going to diminish. It wouldn't be exciting. Before Joshua came in, was he exciting? No, it wasn't.
yeah,
He wasn't exciting.
I want to ask Raph a question. The
Yeah,
the
He wasn't.
master of this program.
yeah.
I want to ask you how do you feel about Wilder trying to take credit for another man and the rest of these fanboys out here trying to take credit for what Ruiz did? How do
Well,
you feel, brother?
yeah. I mean, basically, to me, it shows if I was in Wilder's position, I wanted to fight Anthony Joshua and I wanted to get that money. Why would I be celebrating?
Right.
I would be downhearted. I would be downhearted that another man took my food.
Yep.
So it suggests to me that Wilder is relieved that he doesn't have to step in there with Anthony Joshua. Wilder, that's the only thing I can conclude is that Wilder is relieved
Right.
that he didn't get in there. He didn't have to be the man.
The WBC don't even want to make the white mandatory. You see, the guy has been number one contender for 600, 500 or something days, right?
18 months.
Okay, and
18
then
months.
still no call for him to be mandatory. You see what I'm saying? This is politics. I am on explain all this politics with Bossy fans, and the other division is going to go back to his old ways before Joshua came in. If Joshua tends to then, I don't know, not retire, but just stop fighting, man. Because Joshua has other things to do. He already has investment, to work on, and he's being sponsored by Beats, by Dre, Honda Armour,
Many, many,
Jaguar,
many sponsors. Basically, and we're coming close to the end now. We're coming to the end now. Basically, it is not over yet. We have to
no,
wait. We have to wait to see how Joshua responds to these troubled waters. So
Yep.
anybody who's writing Joshua off, I think it's like it's like the old saying goes, rumors of my death have been exaggerated.
Boom.
Yeah.
Boom.
Rumors of my death have been exaggerated. And before I do the final roll call, I will give each man their last final saying. If I'll start off with you, boxing block center, looking forward to the future. Just give us a few seconds of your final closing statement.
well, bro, my final closing statement is just that. Listen, I mean, I don't really have no words, bro. I'm mentally drained right now. Still looking at the fight, still thinking about it. Like when you support someone so much, I'm in Nigeria. I'm very passionate. We're also also passionate about football like this.
Yeah.
So when Nigeria is down, it kind of hurts me also. You know what I mean? So, but the thing is that two Nigerians went down last night, the Godzilla and the Unified Working Universe, man. So and that hurts the most. But the Godzilla was not really in the top game yet,
Mm.
but Joshua was already at that level. That still that level anyway. But for it to happen like that, it saddens me. And but I think he'll be back. Joshua never loses. He never loses the motivation. I think he lost it before, but I think he'll get it back.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys subscribe to Rafa Dawkins and you go subscribe to Boxing Jedi. And by the way, check out my channel as well. And we were doing some collaboration together, Boston Jedi, Raphael Dawkins, and Box man.
Absolutely. Thank you for your closing statement, Boxing Block Center, and over to the Boxing Jedi.
Yes, sir. I just want to say, boxing is very, very, traditional. We got to keep it this way, whether we agree to disagree or we just, disagree. It's just the whole point. We need to come off with class. Keep everybody keep uploading real boxing videos and keep having lives like, Mr. Dawkins and everyone else. And just basically, man, listen, boxing is one of those sports that you either come to fight or you don't fight at all. And from what we've seen a lot in this era, a lot of motherfuckers come to fight for money, but they don't come to fight for the glory. So I just feel that a lot of these fighters that are being, given a lot of credit and accolades and aren't doing anything, a lot of these fight fans need to open up their eyes and see exactly what their fighting is worth, what their fighters are worth. You know what I mean? It's not all about money. Yes, boxing is a business, but what good is a business if you don't have goods? Meaning, if you're not fighting, then how are you supposed to make money? How are you, Mike Tyson, pure prime example, Sugar Ray Leonard, Tommy, why do you think they made millions? Why do you think they are where they are? Because they fought hard. You know what I mean? They fought hard. Now, anyone that's going to throw out, oh, but they fought nobody's in the errors. First of all, boxing was becoming innovative, and those guys back then would kill guys of today, right now. You know what I mean? So we just got to respect the sport, respect those that are really fighting, and just totally ignore those that are trying to take credit or or trying to make fun of fighters that they couldn't even grow the testicular fortitude to actually face. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is all I gotta say. Peace to everybody from the UK, everybody from the US, everybody from Ireland, everybody that's just pure boxing, man. Hashtag come back to boxing. Check out my channel, The Boxing Jedi, and peace to you, Raphael Dawkins, Boxing Radio.
Most definitely. And so, my closing statement, or as a matter of fact, I think maybe I've already done my closing statement, but I'll just recap it. Yeah, boxing, life in itself is not always a bowl of cherries. Life in itself is not always a bowl of cherries. What makes a man is how he deals with adversity. Yeah, not every day is going to be a great day. Not every day is going to be a great day at the office. Not every day will you be at your optimal best. Life is about ups and downs and how we deal with those stresses. Ups and downs and how we deal with those stresses. And like I told you before, rumors of my death have been greatly exaggerated. We're going to go to the chat. We're going to say big up Loma King.
Big up.
Padre Al-Baghdadi.
Big up.
Aaron Mason. Toby
Big
Bartlett.
up. Big
Aaron,
up.
John Daly. Toby
Big up.
Tyler.
Big
Both
up.
the lovers and the haters. We're shouting them all out. Robbie Wiz. TBK. Who else we got? We got Zone 6. I don't agree with him, but he's been in here, so congrats. Hopefully everybody in here has smashed the like button.
Big up. No doubt.
Yeah, so, and we have many, many more. Rude Boy was in the house. Sorry I haven't been able to interact with you guys as much, but we had some great guests on. So that's how we do it. When we have great guests, we talk to the guests, but I've been reading all of your comments. Don't be mistaken. Mike D was in the building. Who else have we got? We rolling, scrolling up. Too many to mention. AD. How could I forget AD? Pablo Diablo. How could I forget? Where was Peds? We had Peds in the building earlier on. It's a Sunday. Everybody got to do their Sunday shizzle. And my Sunday shizzle has been on hold. These gentlemen have been gracious enough. No Bull was in the house. John Burgess or Javon Burgess was in the house. These gentlemen who were kind enough to join me have put their Sunday activities on hold. And One Play 5 was in the house. Toby Taylor was in the house. But we did it because we love it and we love to interact with you. Supernatural was in the house.
Yes, sir.
So who else we got? Who else we got? We
And
scrolling.
Robbie Wiz. And Robbie Wiz.
Robbie Wiz was in the house. Can't forget Robbie Wiz. Yes, John Daly was in the house. Box was in the house. Supernaturals was in the house. And at one point, Tommy Temple was in the house. He's somewhere else now. Don't know what he's doing. But guys, ladies and gentlemen, it has been a pleasure. Subscribe to Boxing Blog Center. Go check him out. Subscribe to the Boxing Jedi. Go check him out. Great stuff over there as well. And of course, I think all of you, or most of you, have subscribed to me. If there's any who haven't, please kindly hit the bell icons for regular videos and regular live shows every week. It's been a pleasure, gentlemen. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you.
And
Thank you very much.
Most definitely. And we will speak again very, very shortly. Everybody have a blessed Sunday. It's Raphael Dawkins, Combat Radio. It's the Boxing Jedi. It's the Boxing Block Center. And we are out.
God bless everybody.